Hello, it's Amy. I'm making a series of videos about Passover and unleavened bread. I think this is number 2, whatever, there's no order. But I want to show you and explain to you more when we talk about Passover about how it all goes. So first of all, on my website, I have a blog post about Passover, and it sort of is a play-by-play of how me and my kids do Passover. You do not have to do it like we do. Just check the biblical commands. And then I do a lot of traditions as well. So know the difference. We talked about that. On there, you'll see a link to go download a Passover kit. It's just some helpful stuff if you've never done it before. It might be everything you need other than what you have to go buy at the store. You know, the food, the plates, all that stuff. It will have in there a Haggadah. Now, a Haggadah is a program. I call it a program. Well, I call it Haggadah. And it's all the readings. And, you know, this is tradition. You don't have to have a Haggadah. It's not like, and I made this up and I pulled it from different other people's Haggadahs and I put this together myself. And you can see where I had edits last year. I keep a pen with me when I go through this every Passover so I can write down things that I want to change the next year. I change this every single year. But again, I made this up because there's no book of the Bible called Haggadah 1. This is tradition. Now mine is full of scripture, but to have a program like this to do Passover is a tradition. Another tradition for Passover that this goes with is to have a Seder. So a Seder is like an order of events, and Passover is a meal with an order. So you have a Passover Seder, a meal with an order. And, you know, we go through all these things. Now, to eat the bread and the wine is commanded. That's part of Passover, to tell the Exodus story, things like that. But to make it like this ceremony with readings and, you know, the circle plate with all the spots in it, that's a Seder. The Haggadah goes with it. It sort of drives you through the Seder. That's all tradition. But some of this Seder stuff I like because I see it all gospel Yeshua focused. It's all about redemption. And that's why I call mine Remembering Redemption. So you can download Amy's Haggadah. I don't really want to call it that, but you can download it on my website for free. And it'll tell you how to print it so it turns out like a little book. Read the instructions. And you can download it as a PDF, or it's very important to me that you can change this and make it your own. So you can also download it as a Word document so that you can open it up, you know, if you have Microsoft, and change it. You can change the Bible verses. You can change the Bible version. You can change the names. You can change, like I put foot washing, you know. I think that the Last Supper was Yeshua sort of demonstrating what Passover is going to mean in the future. And part of that was he demonstrated foot washing. And so I include foot washing. But you can take that out. I will tell you, I do not include the egg. It's kind of iffy. Go Google that. Don't get into it in the comments. Just go Google it. So see again, Amy, I don't do all the traditions. I also don't do the tradition of the Elijah seat because the one like Elijah already came. He was John the Baptist. So you can download it. You can change it. If you change it, I mean, well, no one on here should it be called Amy's thing. And you can there's lots of other Haggadahs online. Some are free, some cost money. As followers of Yeshua, I think that he should be the center of our Passover. So I encourage you to get one from a Yeshua follower or like a Messianic sort of a Haggadah. And there's lots of them. So you would download this. You can also download, in the kit is a checklist that tells you the things to buy. You know, so if you want to do a traditional Seder, well, you have to have bitter herbs. And, you know, we dip it in salt water, and that's a symbol for something. You can read all about the symbols in here. And see, I'm not going to get real teachy in these videos. That's not the point. Other people have done that. I don't have to do that again. But it has a shopping list of the gear, you know, including matzah. You can get matzah, which is unleavened bread, because we're supposed to eat unleavened bread. You can get that at the grocery store. You can order on Amazon. There's lots of recipes online to make flatbread or unleavened bread and make it yourself, and which is what I will be doing this year. And so there's a shopping list and like a to-do list, things to prepare ahead of time, things to think about ahead of time. So, and then some like little goodies for the kids. And I think that's everything that's in there. So in the Seder, there is a spot where it says, tell the Exodus story. I did not write out the Exodus story. That's a place for you to decide and to ad lib. And I ad lib all through this anyway. I mean, I have children, so it's hard for me to just read something straight. I stop and I explain, and I stop and I explain. That's just how I am. But that part where you teach or you just tell the Exodus story, I mean, you could watch a movie or a cartoon about the Exodus story. You can straight up read it from the Bible. You know, the ladies, maybe this is a chance to get out the flannel graph. You can get creative. I even have it. There's a craft inside that Passover kit that you can print and use props, you know, for the plagues and stuff like this. So you tell the Exodus story however you want. There's no exact rules about how. It just says, tell the children what I did. And again, I include I call it the gospel story, you know, Yeshua's crucifixion, death, and burial, and resurrection. So, looking at my notes, when you do this, I do Passover in my home, and if we go away with people, I'm not opposed to doing it in a large setting, but me and my kids will also have a more intimate Passover here at home, and sometimes I might have guests, but you know, they fit in my home. But do make sure that that you can be heard. So if you're the leader, now normally the husband would lead, but with me it's me. So sometimes if I might stand while I read. What's the point in reading if nobody can hear you? Although everybody does have their own copy, you put it on the plate and everybody can follow along. There's places for people, different people to read, and I just go around the room and let people take turns being the reader, and all they read is scripture. So they shouldn't feel uncomfortable just reading scripture. But I also don't believe in putting people on the spot. Some people just hate it. So always give people a way to pass. If they don't want to read, they just hold up their hand and let them pass. No problem. Don't put people on the spot. This should be enjoyable, not stressful for people. This goes through the 4 cups. There's like 4 cups of wine that you drink, little cups of wine, or grape juice for the kids, of course. And the 4th cup is the cup of redemption. That's the big cup, and then you eat the bread. And that's what Yeshua said, this is my body, which is broken for you, eat and drink. And so, you know, when we were in the Christian church doing communion, I don't think they know it, but I think they're doing like mini Passovers. So you'll see all those same readings in here. This isn't so weird as you might think. It's a little weird. You're going to feel weird the first year, but then you're going to feel very comfortable with the scripture readings. You know these inside and out. What else do I want to say about this? There's a part then, this is everybody's favorite part, eat the meal. So the Seder stops right here. Everybody eats dinner, and then after the meal you carry on. So a Seder might last for hours. And mine, I think I usually start around 7:30 or 8, so when the sun is going down. And if I invite guests, I will tell them, plan on doing this until 11, 11:30 or midnight. So that and it depends on how many people are here as to how long it takes. You want to take your time, and that might mean giving people snacks. I just put out lots and lots of matzah. There's matzah everywhere at my Passovers, and I just tell people, if you're hungry, munch away. I don't care. I keep dinner, and this is all on the blog post, I keep dinner in the kitchen on the counters, in crock pots and roasters. You know, it stays warm, and we take our time and go through this slowly. and do all the weird hands-on things, you know, the washing of the feet, the dipping the parsley in the salt water, putting horseradish sauce, that's what I do, on my matzah. And it's a good time. And we take breaks because that's a long time to sit, especially with children. We take breaks, and during the breaks, maybe I'll clean up or I refill the juice and the wine. We turn on music. I have like a playlist of music ready to go, and I let the kids get up and stretch, and it's very relaxed. And if a mom needs to go, you know, I offer always my bedroom. If she wants to go and take care of a kid or a baby, she can, and it's up to her if she wants us to wait for her, because I will, or if she wants us to carry on without her. Sometimes little kids have to go to bed because it's late. So have pack and plays or places where little kids can go to bed, and tell your guests, you know, if by midnight, if they want to stay all night, that's fine, because you know what we do? We stay up all night. So my guests, they are welcome to stay as long as they want. And this, so another tradition is me and my kids stay up all night, and you can go Google that. There's lots of stuff about that, and that actually is, so for kids, that's the number one thing they look forward to, is just staying up all night. But I have lots of little details, helpful hints that other people have taught me on the website, on that blog post about this. But it takes a long time because there's a lot to read, and sometimes people ask questions and things. I'll talk more about including the kids as much as possible in another video. But mostly in this video, it's already 11 minutes. I just want you to know what this is and where it is, and that you can change it and make it your own. And of course, husband's input, right? Because they're the ones probably leading this. But there you go. I'll see you again in a minute.